So everybody, this is Virag Dombay, and let's hear your story.
Beautiful. So, hi everyone. I just want to say thank you again, Matt, for having me on here. It's such an honor and it's such a dream. I will admit though, when you first told me that the topic for tonight was expectations, my brain immediately went to all the negative experiences that I've had with that word. Because as growing up, that word had quite a negative connotation for me, and that could include, your own unrealistic expectations and the expectations that others set for you. And I think it's quite a vicious cycle sometimes when you think about it, but I don't know about you guys, but in our current climate, I'd rather not talk about negativity. So consequently, I've spent the past few days pondering about what humorous story I could share about myself, but also how PG I keep it, because I'm also very aware that some of the videos I teach or direct might be watching this now or listening to it later, which means that I probably shouldn't tell the story of how I passed out and ended up in a gutter after an after party after a closing show, or how my mother tells everyone how I was made in Japan, or that I was once really busting and I was wearing a tutu and I may not have got into the bathroom on time. So obviously I won't share those with you, but instead I'm going to talk about a pretty experience that I had. So sit back, relax, and feel free to bathe in my embarrassment and humiliation with me. So I'd like you to picture this 15-year-old Virag, who still has her natural brown hair color and is on his school exchange in France, and she's eating lots of baguettes and lots of and it was my second day of being when my host sister told me out of the blue that we were going to Paris for the night. And although I'd been to Paris before when I was 8, you can imagine the excitement one feels when they're told, hell yeah, we're going to Paris. And then I was given a fancy dress to wear and some fancy heels, and we were off. Just like that, like a dream sequence, if you may. And as we were driving into Paris and onto the streets, I watched as the car pulled up in front of this beautiful French building. And it wasn't until I hopped out that I noticed this large line of security guards who were standing at the door. And I could hear like loud music coming from inside. But I knew that we weren't at the Louvre unless Mona Lisa was hosting a girls' night, which I would have loved, by the way. And that's kind of when it all clicked in my head that we were going to a party. And this was going to be my first ever teenage party, and it was happening in Paris. I was quite, as you can imagine, an invigorating feeling for a naive 15-year-old. And I obviously had the thought that my first party would involve screaming lyrics to Britney Spears' Toxic or the Veronicas' Untouched, or maybe screaming them both simultaneously. I imagined that I would be playing Never Have I Ever and never taking a shot because I hadn't done anything at that point. So I imagined that alternatively, I would have to be taking shots in secret by myself in the bathroom so that I can be on the same intoxicated level as all of my other friends. But in French, they have two words for party. One is soirée and one is fête. And fête is like your average house party. But a soirée, now, is a fancy bougie party. And this was definitely a soirée. You had to present your fan invitation at the door, which I still have somewhere in my boxes of memories. And the name of the party was Get Lucky. So every half an hour, Get Lucky would play. And the tabletops were full of all of these flavors and mixtures of cocktails that you can ever imagine. So much red wine. And there were exotic French finger foods, but there were no chocolate croissants, which is a bit of a downer for me, because I still have a much desire for them. And unsurprisingly, or surprisingly, who knows, everyone was really interested in meeting the Australian exchange girl who apparently had a backyard full of kangaroos and a tree full of koalas. Thankfully, I had good enough French to correct them and tell them that I had neither of those things, but instead I had an emu that patrolled my front yard and pecked the fingers off the postman whenever he was delivering the mail to me. But I don't think they got the joke, and I still don't think I get my own jokes. Who knows? Apparently, there's this thing about that when you go to your first party, your mum is meant to like hide in the bushes or microchip your bag or do both of those things. But I unfortunately missed out on that experience. Meanwhile, my mum was back in Australia, probably sleeping or waking up, thinking that her daughter was in a French living room eating some more baguettes and cheese while watching Amelie. And boy, was she wrong. I eventually succumbed to peer pressure, as we all do, and I drank alcohol quite a lot, actually, but not too much for people to notice. I started telling everyone my hopes and dreams of becoming an actor in French, and to anyone that would listen, I even presented one or two of my monologues that was up my bar in English. And I was like, working opportunity in France. Like, no. So I danced a lot, which was really exciting for me, this whole being at this party, because I was never one to break the rules. And here I was breaking all the rules. And it made me feel invincible. Like I imagine Simba felt a flash scar across the face and like I even got my photograph taken at the party, which for the French equivalent of the Courier Mail over there. So whoever's party this was, right? They must have been pretty wealthy or famous or just extremely lucky. Maybe they were even all three. Who knows? And to this day, I've absolutely no idea who the birthday girl or the birthday boy was. So if you're listening to this, I'm so sorry. But it wasn't until the click of the camera and the flash of the lens when they were taking this photograph of me that I remembered that I was education and on a school exchange. And I'm fairly certain that my host sister and my host family hadn't told her teacher or any of my two teachers that came with us that we're going to be in a party in Paris. As if she would have, I would 110% guarantee that I would have been able to go. Therefore, I made it my mission not to tell anyone, not a single soul, about my Parisian soiree. And I got away with it for quite a while, until we were at the metro, and we walked past a corner store, and there was a stand of these French courier mails there, and the photo of me was front center at the top. So that was that, and that is my story to share for tonight.